Or good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when this finds you. Just want to talk about something right quick. As I was reading in the book of Jasher, one of the books they removed from the Bible, and Jasher's a great book, especially if you consider yourselves or one of the melanated brothers and sisters that the world labels as black or African American. Jasher, if you start to read Jasher and totally understand what's being taught in Jasher, what's going on in Jasher, and then you understand who the book of Jasher is really talking about, I guarantee your whole life perspective will change along with the books of Maccabees. And I've heard a lot of uh, Bible so-called scholars say, Maccabees wasn't ever verified, Jasher, that wasn't verified. If Jasher wasn't verified, why does the Bible mention it in more than one place? But I'm not here to talk about that. But the book of Jasher tells you who's who. Like they do the who's who in America stuff. Well, the book of Jasher tells you who's who in the world. And it tells you who we are as a people, and it tells you who everybody else is as a people. But in the book of Jasher, chapter 67, verse 20, the king actually was instructed by his counselors, I think Balaam and a few others that he had called in to give him some advice. He was actually instructed by them to destroy the hope of the children of Israel and their expectations. What does that remind you of? I mean, look at us in this country. Look at our hope as a people. We're hopeless as a people. What kind of expectations do many of us have? Have you ever tried talking to one of us as a whole? I'm not talking about individuals, but as a whole. We have low expectations in this country, and the political system has helped us have low expectations. The political system keeps offering us hope temporarily, and then once we help them, they disappear, so they destroy our hope. Y'all even ran out there and ran for hope and change. And see, Booker T. Washington said we needed to get economics. And then what the counselors did, they got together and said, let's create the NAACP to destroy the hope and expectation of these black entrepreneurial and business minded people. Then we had old Fred Hampton. And then here they come, destroying our hope and expectations. Then we had Malcolm X. Then they came and destroyed our hope and expectations. Then we had MLK. Then they came and destroyed our hope and expectation. See, the NAACP was created by white people. So we stopped doing for self, which is what we had with the National Negro Business League. The Civil Rights Act that we recognize was signed by a racist white guy. So we stopped doing for self. And we haven't had anyone in the black community strive since then as a whole. So the system once again destroyed our hope and expectations. Then the system saw the discouragement of us as a people, and they knew many of us might be ready to withdraw from their system. And so they chose a half black face to give us hope but no expectation. We were lulled into complacency and dependency on the white system once again. We got frustrated again with Trump and Biden. So here comes the fishing rod again to reel us in with Harris. And see, Pharaoh said, let's destroy their hope and expectation before they rise up against us. What does America continue to do to the black, Hebrew, African American? It continues to destroy our hope and expectation because they're scared we're going to rise up. So they keep giving us a white solution to make sure we lull ourselves back to sleep again. See, Pharaoh / United States has always had the same agenda: suppress the black, Hebrew, Afro American, and everything he or she wants to accomplish. Pharaoh said the Israelites have always been too powerful for their enemies, even though they've always had the smallest numbers. And this is why they hid our true black Hebrew identity. I mean, Jasher is a great book, and I've read through it many times. And like I said, going through it again and gaining some new awarenesses and perspectives that I never had in years past. And so, what does America continue to do to the black, Hebrew, African American? They continue to destroy our hopes and expectations, but gives us a white solution to keep us from rising up. Like I said, Pharaoh in the United States, because our ancestors were enslaved in Egypt. Our ancestors were enslaved in spiritual Egypt, which is the Americas, North and South America, largely, mostly in South America, but it was more prevalent in the North American continent because you had a lot more white dollars that eventually went up to New Amsterdam, which is New York, and all those places like that. But it was large in South America too, Brazil, and a lot of other places. If you want some awarenesses on that, get you a quick read called Who Brought the Slaves to America. But United States, Egypt, physical and spiritual Egypt have always had the same agenda: suppress the black, Hebrew, African American, and everything he or she works for to accomplish. See, Pharaoh said the Israelites have always been too powerful for their enemies. Why are we constantly being oppressed, even right today? Y'all heard about the story of Sonia Massey here recently. Why? Did y'all see the story of Christopher Dunn? Um, I came across that story last week. Christopher Dunn was sent to prison in 1991 for a murder of a 15-year-old boy that he kept saying he didn't commit. Christopher Dunn just got out of prison last month after the Innocence Project went to his defense. Innocence Project started a GoFundMe for him. It's raised $11,000 so far, but the IRS is going to stick their hands in that. So he's going to have to get him an attorney to get some kind of restitution for losing 34 years of his life because he was 18 when he went to prison. He's 52 now. And initially, when the judge said let him go, the current attorney general didn't want to, but then after a while, the attorney general said, okay, we need to release this man. But the original attorney general and original police officers that interviewed Dunn, the two witnesses they had were a 12 and a 14-year-old boy that they interrogated and questioned without their parents. And then the boys kept telling them they coerced us, they forced us to say that this was the guy because they wanted to lock some black man up. And I personally think when attorneys do that, prosecuting attorneys do that, and police officers do that, I think they deserve the same amount of prison time that the person they wrongfully accused received. I don't care how old they are. They can be 100 years old. Send them to prison because they've destroyed this man's life. But that's what this system does. Christopher Dunn just got released in July, end of July. Was it July 22nd, maybe? So they do what they can to suppress us. And see, that's why I get so frustrated with our black women saying they don't need no black man, not understanding the feminist movement was created to destroy the black family. It was never about asserting women's rights. It was to destroy the black family. Because when we have strong black men, we have strong black families. And the system can't have that. That's why they do everything they can to, first of all, go destroy the black man. Just like y'all former President Biden with his 4 crime bills that locked you Negroes up. That was his sole objective as a politician. And now y'all getting excited and everything all giddy about Harris being having an opportunity to go to the White House. The same Harris who locked black men up for weed and kept them in prison past their prison exit date because she don't like y'all. Y'all got to wake up. Harris is part of the system. Obama is part of the system. Biden is the system. But we go and we keep supporting people that either don't like us or doing the bid for the system because the system doesn't like us. When are we going to wake up? You go and vote for people who want to genocide you. And because not enough of us are being genocided by the system, they give us the right to genocide ourselves via abortion. Pharaoh said, we're going to keep abusing them. We're going to keep smiting them because if we don't, they're going to continue to grow in numbers. And then it's going to be too many of them. And then they're going to join up each other. And then they're going to destroy us. And what kept happening while our ancestors were enslaved in both Egypts? They kept reproducing and multiplying. You know why? Because Father Yah said he chose us as his special people. He only made 2 covenants. In the entire Bible, you're going to only find where Yah made covenants 2 times, twice. You can read the whole Bible, you can read the Apocrypha, you're only going to read 2 times where he made covenants. He made a covenant with Abraham, and he made a covenant with the 12 tribes of Israel. That's it. He ain't made no covenant with the church like they teaching us in these pulpits every Sunday. He only made 2 covenants. He made it to a specific man, and he made it to a specific man down. Descendants, I should say. Those are the only 2 covenants you will ever find that y'all made. But the systems, because the system know what covenants Yah made. That's why the system all over the world has done everything it could to destroy our hopes and expectations because they think they're going to suppress Yah's covenants. That's why a lot of non-black people are rejecting the Hebrew, what they term the Hebrew roots movement. I did another video a while back and I told you that the Bible said the Hebrews are the only ones that were supposed to take the gospel to others, to Gentiles. And every Gentile was supposed to follow the teachings of the Hebrews. All of your churches are nothing but children of the Roman Catholic Church. And that's why all of the people that are rejecting what they term the Hebrew roots movement of the Bible are rejecting it. because they've accepted the Roman roots of the Bible. I mean, think about this. We had slave masters telling us we were cursed, we're going to hell and all that, but they were sitting there beating us, lynching us, killing us, raping us, working us without pay, and they thought they were going to heaven. What kind of foolishness is that? Look at the version of the Bible they gave us. So Pharaoh, America said, let's destroy their hope and expectation before they rise up against us. What does America do to the black Hebrew African American? It continues to destroy our hopes and expectations, but it gives us a white solution to keep us from rising up. We've always been too powerful, even in the small numbers. Always. This is why they want to hide our true identity. They never wanted us to know our proud heritage. They never wanted us to know our strong heritage. They never wanted us to know our powerful heritage. Why do you think the book of Jasher was removed? Jasher, Jasher tells us who we are. And guess what? Jasher also tells us who they are. Now, I'm not talking about everybody, because some of our black, Hebrew, African American brothers and sisters are not going to make it across to the other side because of the perpetual hatred they have in their hearts for white people and other races who've mistreated us. But not all white people are bad. Not all other cultured people are bad. As a whole, most of them are bad. But you got some out there that want to know the truth. They're seeking the truth. They want to follow the truth. But they're sitting in these pulpits, sitting in these churches on Sundays being taught lies over and over again by these pastors. They're seeking the truth. But the problem is they've been listening to lies so long that they don't know where to find the truth. And then you get to a point, if you come in and bring some contradictory information, they're trying to figure out, okay, what is the truth? But see, you're going to have to reread the Bible. Everybody needs to reread the Bible from a Hebrew mindset. Forget that Roman mindset. Forget that total Gentile mindset of the Bible. If the Bible was written by Hebrews and the Bible was written for Hebrews, how can you read it with a Gentile mindset and understand it? It's just not possible, because Yah only made two covenants: Abraham, Israel, Israel and Judah. Y'all need to understand that. And so these people just won't leave us alone. They won't leave us alone because everybody wants to be Israel. That's why the church say they replaced Israel, because they want the blessings of Israel. No, it don't work like that. You can't find nowhere in the Bible where Yah made a covenant with no church, nowhere. And the word church ain't nowhere in the original Bible anyway. It's called assembly. I don't know how many times I got to tell y'all this. The word church is nowhere in no Bible except these modern translations. It's assembly. I told you the church building ain't biblical. They don't want us to know our heritage. See, the king called all of the counselors together to develop a plan to prevail over the Hebrews. What does it say in Psalm 83:4? See, one of the counselors, Ruel, he was a Midianite. He said, if it pleases the king, leave them Hebrews alone. Ruel telling the king, leave him alone, king. Pharaoh, leave him alone. And see, guess what the black Hebrew African American has been saying since we've been in North and South America? Leave us alone. But see, the nature of the system in physical Egypt is the same as in spiritual Egypt, which is America. Leave us alone. See, the Midianite says Yah has his hands around the Hebrews. The Midianite says they are covered by Yah. He said, these are the people Yah has chosen. Now, this is in the book of Jasher. If Yah chose a specific people, how did the church slide in and become the specific people when Jasher says he chose a specific people? Now, when I say specific people, when I talk about Israel, I'm talking about the natural branches, and I'm talking about those of you who have to be grafted in. You become part of the specific people. But the church was not chosen. Y'all better stop with that replacement theology. Go back and listen to that video I did on replacement theology a while back. But the Midianites said Yah has chosen a specific people. We're covered by him. See, these heathens have rewritten the Bible and they've rewritten history to suit their narratives. See, how did Yah choose us and then the system turns around and abuses us? See, these heathens are going against Yah's word. They're going against Yah's covenant. And they sit in their churches on Sunday and act like they are serving the true Father. See, you can't be serving the true Father by being taught a faulty and manipulated doctrine. And that is why many Christians are rejecting what they term, as I said, the Hebrew roots movement. In reality, they're not rejecting a movement. They're rejecting the people in the book that they claim to love. They're not rejecting the movement. They're rejecting the people. So even though they sit there with their Christian labels, they are still rejecting the people of Yah. So based on what they're doing in the Christian context, it's no different than what slave masters were doing, rejecting Yah's people. They say they reject Catholicism, but they keep following the dictates of the Catholic Church in their Protestant churches, regardless of denomination. So they're okay with the Roman roots of the Bible because it is a European creation. But they reject the Hebrew roots of the Bible because it was written by darker skinned people. See, Balaam, y'all remember Balaam? Y'all heard Balaam from the Bible. You know, he even told the king that he wouldn't prevail over the Hebrews and he should depart from any plans against them. What do we see these heathens keep doing? They're not succeeding. They're succeeding temporarily, but they keep messing with us. And that's why they come up with all these plans to get rid of us. What did Pharaoh say to the midwives in Egypt? Kill all the male Hebrew babies so they can't reproduce. What did Herod say in Egypt or wherever they were, not Egypt? What did Herod say? I'm drawing a blank on where Herod was right now. But what did Herod say? Kill all the male Hebrew babies over the age of 2. He's trying to destroy the male seed, the male Hebrew seed. What did Margaret Sanger say? Let's kill these undesirable Negroes, the black Hebrew. What did Roe versus Wade say? Let's let these Negroes kill themselves. So we ain't got to do it. What did they do with the Tuskegee syphilis experiment? Let's try to kill the black male. What did P.W. Botha say in South Africa in 1985? Kill all the black babies that are born in the hospital. What did Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation say? And what did the American government say when Kenneth Copeland's remix came out. Black people need to take it first. Man, y'all better start waking up. Joe Biden say, lock him up. Kamala Harris say, lock him up. They're trying to destroy the black, Hebrew, African American male in this system. When are we gonna wake up? Especially our black women. Mary McLeod Bethune said, the true worth of a race is measured by the character of its woman. Black woman, black Hebrew Afro American woman. What is your character showing right now? Y'all are in bed with destroying your black man. Y'all are in bed with destroying your black male provider, protector, father, husband. Because y'all caught up in identity politics. Ski-wee, Howard University, colorism. You'd rather destroy your future, the future of your children, the future of your grandchildren, because you're caught up in identity politics. Because you are being used as the tool by the system to destroy the black man and the black family, which means you destroy the black neighborhood, you destroy the black community, you destroy the black unification. Balaam said, King, you not gonna prevail over the Hebrews, and you should depart from any plans against them. That's when the king gave the decree to kill all the male Hebrew babies. He felt if he couldn't defeat them in battle, he would defeat them at birth. Did it ever surprise you that after Booker T. Washington died, we got Planned Parenthood? After MLK died, we got Roe versus Wade. And when they struggle to keep us hopeless, like a penny with a hole in it, like Deion Ferris sang so wonderfully a few years ago, they tried to destroy our offspring. See, the difference between Pharaoh and America is that Pharaoh told a midwife to do it. And America was so slick, they told the black, Hebrew, Afro American woman to do it herself. I'll talk to you later.